I see what you were trying to do, San Jose State. I see what you're trying to do out there in the People's Republic of California. No wonder millions of people are fleeing the People's Republic. I guess I should give credit where credit is due. The Chancellor of the People's Republic, Gabby Nome, he has been able to accomplish something that Donald Trump promised but was unable to fully deliver. Under his outstanding leadership, Gabby Nome, he has found the solution to America's immigration problem. I often hear the mainstream media claim that the People's Republic of California sets the tone for the rest of the country. For example, California was one of the first states to embrace what they referred to as clean energy. Yeah, the rest of us referred to it as huge embarrassing failure. The People's Republic, they embraced clean energy. They promised to get rid of those dangerous fossil fuels while providing their citizens, with energy that would also provide cleaner air. There was just one problem, one tiny problem. The Chancellor, he failed to let his subjects know that this energy wasn't reliable. Sure, they had really clean energy for a few hours every day. The rest of the day, though, the subjects had to take the batteries out of their battery-powered cucumber and put them in their battery-powered fans just to get a little relief on hot summer days. Gabby Nome has made life so miserable in the People's Republic of California that thousands of people, they are migrating into Mexico. My inside sources are telling me that the Mexican government, they are looking into building a border wall to keep subjects from the People's Republic out of their country. Gabby, he might achieve the Trumpers' dream of having Mexico pay for the wall. Another area where the People's Republic proudly leads the country is transgender involvement in sports. Gabby wants California to be an inclusive republic. If Miranda wants to be a panda, they will reserve a nice spot for her in the zoo. If Grandpa George wants to identify as a kindergartner, the T-ball coach, he will make him the cleanup hitter in the lineup. And if a 6'1" Brayden Fleming wants to become Blaire Fleming and request she, her as preferred pronouns, San Jose State University, they will reserve a place in the starting lineup for Blaire on the women's volleyball team. This is the type of inclusivity that California is proud of, but it's strange. If the People's Republic is so proud of this inclusivity, why are they actively trying to hide it? If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. You guys have been great supporting the second channel. I appreciate your support. If you have a topic idea for the new channel, shoot me an email, btlkc84@gmail.com. You know, it's been a while since we have talked about transgender athletes in sports. We covered the issue extensively during the Olympics when those two boxers were allowed to compete against women. If I remember correctly, I think both of them won a gold medal. Shocker! But before the Olympics, it had been a long time since we talked about transgender involvement in sports. 2 or 3 years ago, it seemed like this was a weekly conversation. Now, it's something that we don't hear about as often. Why? Why do you think that is? Well, if you were to believe the mainstream media, we are no longer hearing about this issue because it's rare. I don't understand all of this outrage. It is very rare to see Bearded Bob dominating women's college basketball. There's no reason to be angry. These cases are few and far between. But if it'll make you feel better, we will ask Bob to shave his beard. Perhaps the media is right, which would also be rare. The media is rarely right about anything. Hell, I don't even think they want to be right. I think they just want to indoctrinate. But maybe we are not hearing about transgender athletes in sports because it's no longer happening. Or maybe, just maybe, we are no longer hearing about the issue because the backlash from normal people has forced it to move into the shadows. Blaire Fleming graduated from John Champ High School in Virginia in 2020. While in high school, Blaire played for the girls' volleyball team. 1 year later, Blaire was playing volleyball at the collegiate level at Coastal Carolina. Now, throughout this time, there was no inkling that Blaire was transgender. Nothing from high school, nothing from Blaire's time at Coastal Carolina would lead anyone to believe that Blaire was formerly Brayden. Even family members went the extra mile to conceal Blaire's birth identity. According to Reddix, Blaire's family was very, very careful on social media. And look. If you were to look at a photo of Blaire Fleming, you would have no idea that Blaire was born Brayden. However, not everyone in the Fleming family cooperated with the disguise. On a social media post, the grandmother, she accidentally referred to Blaire as her grandson, which is an understandable mistake. I'm sure Granny isn't used to all this confusion when it comes to pronouns and proper terminology. Granny was probably at the hospital when Blaire was born. I would imagine that she remembers the doctors looking down and selecting male on the birth certificate, so naturally, there will be times when Granny is going to slip up and refer to her grandchild as her grandson. But outside of that one social media post, there has been minimal indication that Blaire Fleming is the former Brayden Fleming. Freshman year at Coastal Carolina, which was the 2020-2021 season, Blaire Fleming is playing on the women's volleyball team. After the spring semester, Blaire Fleming suddenly transfers to San Jose State, all the way across the country. Strange. Well, Casey, that's not strange. College athletes transfer all the time. Yeah, that's true. But there was something a little different about Blaire's situation. You see, in 2021, South Carolina lawmakers, they passed what the woke media called a draconian law. The law banned biological males from competing in women's sports. Well, that is outrageous! How dare these evil politicians prevent Fran Former Man from achieving his dream of becoming the first WNBA player to successfully dunk a basketball? As soon as the law was passed in South Carolina, Blaire Fleming transferred to San Jose State to continue playing volleyball. Again, for the most part, the birth identity of Blaire Fleming has been heavily disguised until this past weekend. Over the weekend, the women from San Jose State, they were competing in the Santa Clara tournament. Thanks to the dominance of Blaire Fleming, they moved to 6-0 on the season after beating Santa Clara. And they could have been 7-0, but the women's team from Southern Utah refused to compete against San Jose State. Why? No official reason was given by Southern Utah, but I wonder if it had anything to do with the fact that Blaire Fleming was born Brayden Fleming. I wonder if officials at Southern Utah decided that it was more important to protect their young women. During their broadcast against Santa Clara, one of the announcers calling the game said, "Blaire Fleming might be the most impressive athlete on the floor tonight." No shit. I haven't seen the footage, but there's not a doubt in my mind that Blaire Fleming was the best player on the floor. I'll take it a step further and say that Blaire Fleming is probably the best player in the country. Unless, of course, Shaq has a son that's now identifying as his daughter. In that case, Shaq's new daughter is probably the best volleyball player in the country. But during the broadcast, the announcers, they were constantly praising Blaire Fleming. But when San Jose State posted a recap of the game on their website, Blaire Fleming was mysteriously left out. I wonder why. This was the first time this season that Blaire Fleming was not mentioned by San Jose State. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that people are now seeing through the illusion. All it took was the young women from Southern Utah refusing to compete. All of a sudden, seems like San Jose State is doing everything they can to cover it up. Why? I thought the People's Republic of California was proud to be inclusive. When you're proud of something, you want to tell everyone about it, right? If your son is the starting quarterback on a team that won the state championship, You're going to tell everyone how proud you are of your son. If your daughter is the valedictorian of her high school, you're going to tell people how proud you are of your daughter. If the People's Republic of California, if San Jose State University is proud of their inclusivity, how come they are trying to hide Blaire Fleming? If you believe it's the right thing to do, wouldn't you want others to follow your lead? My question is, how many Blaire Flemings are competing in women's sports and we don't know about it? How many biological males are competing against women and their birth identity is being disguised? 3 or 4 years ago, when we first started covering Lia Thomas here on the channel, the mainstream media, they were bragging about it. The media claimed that Lia Thomas was a sign of progress. Guess how many mainstream media outlets have picked up this story about Blaire Fleming? Just take a wild guess. If I had to guess, the mainstream media is refusing to cover this story because they don't want to create backlash. But give me your thoughts on this. Brayden Fleming becomes Blaire Fleming and competes in women's volleyball from the high school level to the collegiate level. Until recently, no one really knew about it, at least on a national level. Do you think we are no longer hearing about this as often because it's being disguised? Are we not hearing about it because of the fear of backlash? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.